Now go get yourself something to eat.
Okay. Hi guys, and welcome back to Mom's Vlog 80. I'd like to apologize for last week for the Walking Dead review. I thought it was the second part of season 4 when really everybody's been announcing it as season 5. So we are talking about season 5, episode number 2. So today we are going to talk about what happened on Sunday with The Walking Dead, and here we go.
I would love to show you, but since we don't have the slow-mo.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that cool? I mean, that was like kind of iconic.
Well, yeah, the whole walking, the slow motion walking, and as they were like tough, they were just like, we the tough crowd.
Very, very good, very heart-wrenching, very American in the zombie apocalypse.
Yes, I thought the epic walk in slow motion was awesome. That was a great start. Okay, let's start out by talking about Carol and Tyrese.
I'm agreeing. It's kind of horrible. What is going on with Tyrese?
Well, I think they're feeling really guilty about killing the girls. And so they...
You think so?
Yeah, they just don't want to tell anybody because they feel like Carol may feel like she's going to get kicked out of the group again because she killed before. Rick kicked her out of the group and told her to go on by herself. So I think she's afraid that if she admits to killing the girls, that this could happen again. So she's hiding it from everybody.
But see, then he wants everybody to accept it, but she doesn't care. It's kind of a little drama there, but it was probably needed drama.
Yeah. Would you guys admit to killing the girls if you had to, just to get it beyond your past, or would you keep it hidden and keep that guilt in you the whole time? I don't know if it's a good idea to keep that guilt.
Tyrese has still got some stuff going on, but we're probably going to see in the next couple episodes what's going on. But a good start.
Well, Rick trying to convince Carol to speak up, I don't know if it's a good idea, because one day she just might do it out of anger because he's trying to force her to speak it and say something, and it could come out wrong. And how she doesn't want to portray on how it went. Who do you think was sneaking around in the woods? There's 2 possible people I thought might be sneaking around in the woods. Number 1, it was one of the guys from Terminus. Or number 2, it was the pastor, priest guy. Who do you think it was? I think it was the pastor priest guy because they asked him if he was watching them. And then he was explaining how he's never gone beyond the boundaries until that day. So I think it was the pastor. Or do you think it's the Terminus guys?
Well, you think it was the pastor. I think it was the Terminus guys scoping it out, making a plan on what they were going to do. Speaking of the pastor. Whoa.
Yeah, do you guys think he's innocent or guilty? Actually, according to the previews, it looked like he was guilty of something. There's something going on, and I can't wait for next episode to see what he is hiding.
All right, next. How many walkers have you killed?
The only walkers I've killed are in my mind.
How many people have you killed?
I'm gonna kill you in a second if you keep yelling in my ear. Abraham said that there was a bus in the back of the church, and that it'd take a couple of days to fix it. He wanted to convince people to not stick around and then leave right away. So that didn't make sense that he was like, oh, it'll be a couple days to fix this bus and we'll get it up and running, hopefully. Yet he wanted to try to convince people not to stick around the church because they got to get up and go quickly. So what was up with that? I just think he was just anticipating on getting to Washington.
Must be the military background.
I don't know. So Ronnie.
Yes, ma'am.
Carol and Daryl finding that car was probably the best thing I've seen in this episode because it gave me a hope that if something happened that they had a way to escape. But they ruined that when they took off after the car that they thought Beth was kidnapped in.
Got high anxiety from that. But you Walking Dead fans, if you remember when Beth was stolen, I'm telling you, I haven't went back and watched it yet, but that was like a Cadillac. That was a big car. Now, the car that drove off was one of them foreign little cars.
We're gonna have to review that scene again because I thought it was the same car.
Tell us what you think. Do you remember the car that Beth was stolen in? Now, granted, they may just be going off of the sticker that was on there, but he busted them back lights quick. Why wouldn't he bust the front lights? Or maybe the front lights were already busted.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think the front light, or he could turn off the front lights and keep them off, but the brake lights, he had to bust because he was stepping on the brakes. He didn't want to show that he was showing up. So typically he was just busting out the brake lights.
What is going to happen?
The difference between the first water zombie and the water zombies from this episode. What do you think? How do you feel about that difference? Why did they change it?
They were pretty,
I thought when we were in water for a long period of time, let's just say if, for instance, a homicidal investigator finds somebody floating in the water, their skin isn't looking like that. So why do you think zombies, the walker's skin, were drooped? Do you think that their skin was soaking in the water like a sponge?
Maybe their cells were dead. They were fantastic looking, I must say.
Yeah, the makeup was excellent.
Wow.
Yeah, and they didn't get like as chubby and bloated up as the one in the well back at the farm.
That's true. That was one fat zombie. All right, what's next, Mel?
After Rick had the talk, they went back to that scene, and Carl was outside the church and happened to see that writing on the side of the church. What did it say, Ronnie?
You will die for this.
Die
for what?
Do you think that the pastor or whoever he is kept the people outside and saved himself?
Maybe he locked the door. He only had enough food for a year, so if you let anybody else in...
So he was pretty much being selfish. Do you think that's a secret sin? One of his secret sins?
One
of his secret sins.
We will get to the other one in a minute.
Since we're on the subject of secret sins...
The canned food drive, when they went there, he went... privately, me and Mel had a nice little argument about this because the zombie looked like his mother by chance.
Well, she looked like she had gray hair, but I guess it was blonde hair because they showed the picture later. And I didn't see the picture the first time. I had to rewind and watch that part again. I didn't see that picture.
I know.
Don't roll your eyes at me. Wow.
And the picture they had with him, and he wanted to go back to see if possibly she was alive, but no, she wasn't.
Do you think he's going to reveal his secrets in the next couple of episodes, or if he's going to still be alive? Do you think he's going to be around?
I think he has to be around.
Do you think he's going to be part of the group and part of the story now?
He has to get killed.
He has to get killed.
What do you think? How many more episodes will the priest make it?
I think, according to the previews that we saw, the guy got mad at him, so he may not survive very long in the group.
I don't think so.
So do you guys think that Bob got bit when he was pulled down under the water by a walker? I think he got bit, and that's why he walked outside and started crying because he knew that he was going to change eventually.
I think he got bit also when it first happened. Otherwise, why would he always be... Give me one more.
He knew that he was going to die. And that's why he kept telling his wife to give him a kiss, because he knew those would be his last kisses.
But if that is the case, let's fast forward to the final.
Oh my gosh. You guys, I was so grossed out. Seriously, so grossed out. I was disturbed by Gabriel. He is messed up in the head. Eating Bob's leg? That was gross. Ugh.
Well, what topped it off was the fact that they left his foot, his toes. It might be like shark fin. Shark fin is such a delicacy. Maybe human toes taste totally different, kind of like a lobster tail. But that was one fat chunk of meat.
Yeah, it looked like he was eating our famous spare ribs that we usually have, our pork spare ribs that we eat. Or no, is it beef spare ribs that we eat?
Please, somebody, tell me what you thought.
That is way beyond me.
And if by chance Bob was bitten and they did eat some of his flesh while the zombie virus was going through them. What is going to happen to
I know,
those
I was
men
thinking
at
that.
Terminus?
I was thinking
But
that.
we don't know.
I loved how the Talking Dead, they were calling it a Bob BQ. I laughed. A Bob BQ.
The preview.
Oh my gosh, can you believe I heard somebody say, who was it that said it, that 3 people were gone? 3 people are gonna go, you guys.
Where?
So we'll know 2 more because you got Bob that's gone. And then 2 more are gonna end up missing. Who's gonna end up? I wonder if they think it was Carol and Daryl because they took off in the car and maybe they think they're gone.
That is very,
That-
very smart. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, because I gasped and I was like, oh my god, 2 more people are gonna go. Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next? So I'm super excited about next week's episodes.
What is going to happen? OMG.
Oh, that's crazy. I can't wait for next week.
Okay, so now
Yes.
let's give our overall rating for this week's episode of The Walking Dead.
I am going to give it an 8.
Me too. Or is it like
An 8.
8 out of 10, which
Turn
is
that
still
off.
fantastic, but 8 out of 10, still a fantastic episode, but it was not like season 5, episode 1. But let's see what happens this week.
I know, you guys, this season of Walking Dead, I know, is going to continue on being a very good season, and I can't wait to see what happens. Have you guys grown to these characters?
Okay, the question of the day is, Mel?
Who do you think is going to be the next person in the group that's has nothing to do with anybody outside the group or that is part of the group temporarily? Who do you think may be the next person to die? Now, I hear rumors that Daryl was going to die, but I have yet to believe that's true.
You shut your mouth.
I have yet to believe that's true. So I don't think he's going to go anytime soon if he were to go. And I'd be super upset. And I think a lot of you guys would be super upset if Daryl had gone.
But please tell us who you think.
Leave a comment down below and let us know who you think might be the next person to die. Who do you think is the most vulnerable and the most weakest? Or maybe be a surprise to die.
Surprise.
Yeah. Thank you for joining along in our Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 2 review this week. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And we do daily vlogs every day, so please press that little red subscribe button down below. And we hope you enjoy this video and join our journey. We will see you guys later. Ciao. Welcome back to Mom's Vlog 80, and thank you for joining along for us. We're gonna start over. Blech. Do that. So making a camp at the church. Ronnie, would you call that church camp? Church camp. Oh,
Oh, that was heavy.
sorry.
Give me,
Because
you
he
got,
knew
you
he
got
was gonna-
lipstick on. Don't
he-
give me one more something. Maybe they would pay high money for that. Maybe they're saving them. Ooh.
Wait. Like what Rick said. He's like, why don't you get yourself something to eat? Or he's like, you need to go find yourself some food or something like that. He said something like that in the beginning. No, we don't have to do that again. I can edit the part in when you talk.
Now go get yourself something to eat.
Breeze, seriously, you're annoying me.
No.
To the beginning. Let me take this from you. So, thank you for joining along in our